Today I thought I would do my fancy full coverage foundation routine plus my brows. I've gotten a few questions about it, so I figured I would film it. This is just my foundation routine when I'm going out at night or filming a makeup look or taking pictures of my makeup for my Instagram. I don't usually wear foundation unless I'm doing those things. When I do wear foundation, I like it to be full coverage and I like to have a pretty strong contour. And bushy brows are just my thing. Also, I'm only wearing my bra. Keep watching to find out why. Ha ha ha. Holy crap, I'm sweating. That took a lot out of me. I'm so glad that I just checked if that was recording, because I got this crappy little microphone and I was like, sure, I'll record with a microphone, that's cool. I'll be profesh as fuck. Plugged it in, was putting on my primer, getting ready to film this, talking into the microphone, went and checked it. Mama wasn't recording. So before I got so rudely interrupted by my sound not recording, I put on the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refining Primer. I don't necessarily love this. I kind of just use whatever I have on my table at the moment. I have like 14 different sample sizes of primers just because I get them all the time at Sephora. I don't think I've ever actually had to buy a primer. I kind of just use whatever I have. So I kind of just smeared this all over my face where I have large pores, which is like here and on my forehead. So what I do for foundation is I take the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in the color 1C1 Cool Bone. And I shake it a little. Probably don't normally do that, but I'll do it for the purposes of looking good. I take a mirror, a random mirror. Hey! This is actually my Coke mirror. Just kidding. 2011 was a weird year. And I just take a little bit. It's probably too much. Not like this stuff is like $52 or anything. And then I take the Illamasqua Skin Base in, there's no color name, but it's white. Use this to lighten the foundation because I'm really, really pale and there's no foundation out there at all that's light enough for me. So I kind of just take it, squirt a little into the middle, add how much I think I need, and then add some more because let's be real. Then I'm going to take this Sigma brush, it's the F82 Round Kabuki, and I'm going to mix it on my mirror until it looks like the color of my skin. And once that's relatively mixed, I'll just put it directly onto my face, everywhere. Okay, that's it guys. This is my foundation routine. I'm so funny. And then once that's pretty much spread everywhere and I look like an idiot, I'll take this Real Technique sponge, basically like a beauty blender, but I like it better because it has this flat part, and I'll just start to bounce it off my skin. I prefer this to a brush because I tend to get really cakey like in areas around my nose, which if you look at my Instagram photos, I'm sure you can tell. Sorry, that was an email. I'm just such a popular, busy person. So using a beauty blender or a Real Technique sponge just prevents it from getting cakey because you don't get brush strokes, you don't get lines, and this kind of like takes off extra product that you don't really want on your face. It just basically makes it look really natural while maintaining a full coverage. Looking pretty good. I used the NARS Creamy Concealer in the lightest shade, which is Chantilly. I was bilingual at one point, not anymore. So I just put that everywhere, like pretty far up under my eye because it works as a eyeshadow base too. Get it in there, sides of my nose a little bit, down my nose. That is more than I would normally put because I'm looking in the viewfinder. A little bit here and a little bit here, and on this fucking Mount Everest of a pimple that I have. Then I take my Real Technique sponge again and just do the same thing. I just bounce, 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 bouncy, bouncy, bounce. The finish of this foundation is a little more dewy than I would like. I tend to like a matte face. So I take my powder, and that also works to not only mattify but set it in place because this concealer tends to crease like a mofo. So I take my Sephora 8-hour Wear Mattifying Compact Foundation. I mentioned all these in my Holy Grail products video. And I take my e.l.f. powder brush, which is just like a flat top kabuki brush, and just smear it in there, dust it off, and just stamp it on my face. Just a shit ton, stamping it everywhere. I do also use the Real Technique sponge for this. That works also. And then give it a few seconds and let it really like cling to the foundation so it doesn't go anywhere, and then just lightly brush it off. Then sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. I'll take the Makeup Forever HD Micro Finish powder and I'll use that to set my under eyes. Most of the time I'll just use this stuff. It's what I use for the rest of my face, but sometimes I'm feeling extra fancy, so I'll just take it on a brush and use that to set my under eyes, just because it's white, so it works to extra brighten a little bit. You all know for my blush and contour, I use the Lunatic Cosmetics Labs palettes because I talk about them in like every video. So I'll take like any sort of angled brush. This one is from Crown Brush and it has no name, but it's just like fluffy. And I'll take like whatever shade I feel like. I'm gonna go with this one today. I mean, I use other products too. I don't always use this blush palette, but lately it's been what I reach for. And then I just dab and just kind of work in circular motions on the apples of my cheeks and moving upwards. Am I mumbling? Probably. Done. I like using my contour palette. This is the Cool Contour palette from, you know what it is by now, from the same company. Okay. And then I just find my cheekbone and just starting up here, oh, this is the same e.l.f. brush I used for my face, and I just put it on the edge and just kind of work that in there. And then I'll work it down. Then I'll take the brush that I used for my blush and just kind of blend that. Like blend it in small circles and also blend it downwards. Because that palette is like pretty gray and pretty cool toned, sometimes I'll take the Illamasqua Powder Eyeshadow in Heroine, which is also very cool toned but way less gray, and I'll just put a teeny bit on there to warm it up a little bit. Then I take my brush and I will dip it in my Cool Contour palette, and then I go to town on my fucking jaw. I just find that this is the easiest way to make me lose 10 pounds. I just honestly smear so much of this stuff on my jawline because it pretty much like eradicates my double chin. I tend to get like pretty high up there, like I tend to go like into this area because it makes it just look like it's part of my jaw rather than like a huge lump of fat, you know what I mean? And then since I have a giant fucking forehead, I'll go in and just kind of put a little bit of contour powder at the top of my face here near my hairline, and that just helps to like bring my hairline down a little bit and make my forehead not look like a 7 head. Really lightly go down, make 2 lines like down the middle of my nose just to make it look false alarm burp, just to make it look thinner than it is. You're gonna go right down from your eyebrow and just really gently go down the side of your nose. as close to the center of your nose as possible while still leaving like a white space, because that's important for highlighting. And then for highlighter, lately I have been using Sephora. It's dirty, I'm a disgusting human. Sephora Pantone Universe Marsala Cheek Trio. It's pretty, it looks like that. I'm using the highlighter from it, which is kind of just like a goldy champagne-y highlighter, and just piling it on my cheekbones. I really like to be very glowy. I just bought this dress and there is already so much powder on it. Whatever, I'm gonna take it off. It's not like you can see my chest anyway. Time to go in the washing machine, dress. Cool. I could do this totally naked and you wouldn't even know. My eyebrows are super simple. They're probably not very recently plucked. Sorry about that. I take the Anastasia brow pen in Deep. I just gently outline the bottom of my eyebrow and extend the tail a little bit to a point. I go a little further than my natural brow, and then I fill in the tail with the brow pen. Then I take my Benefit Gimme Brow, which is just a brow mascara basically, but it's got little fibers in it which thicken your brows. Yep. It smells like 1997, like it really does. It smells like you walked into a department store in 1997. It smells weird, so weird. It smells like really just like how old cosmetics used to smell. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna start in the middle sort of and brush through my brows. I like them really bushy lately, so that's kind of just what I'm doing. And then when you get to the front, when there's not that much product left on your brush, you just really try and like stain your skin with it to make it look like there's more hairs than there are. And I usually brush like upwards and sideways the whole time. My hair is a disaster as usual. Sometimes I'll just wear this without eye makeup or anything and just put on like a dark lip, and I think it looks pretty cool like that. So that's it. That's how I do my fancy ass foundation routine. Thanks for watching.